Elevate TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the GG Report. I'm your host, Godfrey Gishuki, and this is another exciting moment for us to have a serious conversation. Today, we're going to be focusing on a very important question. Can one man change a nation? This is a political conversation. All right, and I have on the set a guest, a very special man, Honorable David Sudi. Karibu. Welcome to the show.
Asante.
Yeah, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, we're going to have a brief introduction, introduce the show, and then my guest, and then after that, we'll dive straight into the conversation. So welcome. And remember, we are live on the social media platforms. We are live on Elevate TV Kenya, and alive, that is Facebook and YouTube channels. Please remember to share widely, and let's join in this conversation. You can always leave a comment, leave a footprint on the social media. Let's know what you think about this conversation. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the big question, like I've just said, is can one man change Kenya? And we want to look at the impact of one very seasoned politician who served in the 8th and 9th Parliament in Kenya. And we're going to be looking at the details of that. Again, as usual, the GG Report is a platform for big, bold conversation, honest conversations on a broad range of subjects: social, cultural, political, economic, philosophical, theological issues. And today we're going to be focusing on politics. You know, this is a season for politics. All right, good. My guest, let me introduce you to my guest. My guest is Honorable David Sudi. He served as Member of Parliament for Marakwet West for 2 terms. That is 1997 and 2002, those 2 parliamentary sessions back to back. Now, Honorable Sudi studied geology at the University of Nairobi, graduating in 1987, and also an master's degree in the same field at the University of Birmingham in the UK. Honorable Sudi then worked for the National Oil Corporation as a petroleum geologist, and while there he was among the team that did exploration for petroleum from Lamu to Turkana, you know, the northern part of Kenya. And I think a lot of you have heard the story of the great petroleum journey of this nation. So I think he has a hand in that. And then Hon Sudi also served with the Ministry of Energy before joining politics. Honorable Sudi is also a businessman. So welcome to the show, my brother and friend, now newfound friend.
Thank you.
Very good, very good.
Thank you very much.
It's very, very good to have you here. And I think one of the reasons, I really feel honored that we can have a conversation with someone I considered a seasoned politician. Because we know getting elected is hard. Getting re-elected is also very hard. And so achieving that feat, I think, is something to really, you know, to be very proud about. Okay, so let's start with a bit of background. Let's start with your background in terms of maybe your study. Give us a brief background. You know, you come from Marakwet West, so maybe people want to hear those stories.
Oh yes, thank you very much. First of all, I should say thank you for inviting me to this Elevate TV.
Yes.
For the first time. And I hope our friendship will continue.
Yes.
So that we can inform Kenyans the way forward and what is expected.
Yes.
My names are Honorable David Sudi. I served as a MP for Marakwet West from 1998 to 2007, and I worked in various ministries. I served in the first term in Moise government, where I became Assistant Minister in Ministry of Planning, Foreign Affairs, and Minister of Lands. And I served in the second term as an MP, and also I was appointed as Assistant Minister for Manpower Development in Kepagi's government.
Okay. Yeah, that brilliant. Okay, so you're growing up in Marakwet. Maybe that's also an interesting story to fill us up in.
Yes, I grew up as a young boy. I used to go to Sunday school, and we did a lot of things, especially in this season of December, whereby we were celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. I acted as one of the sheep.
In the Jesus story.
In the Jesus story.
Yes.
And I believe in what is written in the Bible.
Okay.
And that is what I encourage young people to know about the Bible, because that is our constitution, actually.
Okay, very good. So that's very interesting. So people might think that Marakwet, there are no churches and Christian. How is the Christian witness and church life in that part of North Rift?
The first missionary came to Marakwet in 1920s, and they started the church, which you call African Inland Church, and we have also the Roman Catholic Church. All those missionaries from
main denominations.
Yes, main denominations. They are all over there. Now, even now, the Islam is coming in, and so what many churches are coming in.
Your high school days, maybe just a little bit of that.
Yeah, I started in Kapsor Primary School, where I started my O-level. Primary education. Those days we used to go to nursery school. We started in nursery school and went to class 1 until class 7, where I did CB and got 31 points out of that 6. And I was called to go to St. Patrick's High School for my secondary education,
yes,
which I did until Form 6, Form 1, Form 6.
Oh, yeah, St. Patrick was very famous, actually.
Yes, and I'm one of the
alumni
of St. Patrick's 10. And from there, then I joined the University of Nairobi.
Yes, to study geology.
Yes, that's geology.
Absolutely. Very good. That's very good background. And I think I like your story. I really like your story, and we are going to dive into that. Okay, so give us your journey into the politics, your political career, what inspired you to join politics, and tell us about that.
Yes, why I joined politics is because after working in the civil service for 7 years, I went into to do business.
Okay.
In various fields.
Yes.
And from there, I saw that things were not going in the right way. So I said, why can I be one of those people who are going to change what is being legislated and what is being done to the people is not the right way.
Okay.
So that's how I got the motivation to join politics.
Okay.
And I felt that because our forefathers were getting older, I said, let's go in as a young blood.
All right.
Yes, and I still have up to today that planning. and when I tried to my first chance to campaign for politics in 1997-98, I was elected.
Okay, so you actually it was your first stint at politics.
Yes.
And you actually managed to get elected.
Yes.
And that was very good.
Yes.
Yeah. So that went very well.
Yes,
because a lot of people try and they fail.
Yes.
Okay.
And because I was having a calling, and that's why I got it for the first time.
Yeah.
And although the politics of these days, even even one vote can put you down.
Yes, yes, yeah. These days, yes, you can lose a seat by your opponent just getting one vote above above you.
And that is democracy. So
that's interesting.
Yes.
Today's generations, they are very vague ideas about how it was to work in the infamous Moi regime. Today, Moi regime is characterized in different ways. Depends on where you're coming from. So if you're, progressive and anti, dictatorship, or you think that you're very, everyone else is always doing a bad job, Moi is characterized as a dictator. But if now you served in Moi's government, so maybe you can give us an inside story.
Yes, that is true. Moi was a father.
Yes.
And he was a principled man. Maybe that's why you call him dictatorship, because he doesn't bend the rules.
Yes.
Moi, what he says is what he does.
Yes.
When he tells you do this, he will do it. We used to go to Moi, and he was a father. He could listen to us.
Yes.
And if there's any problem, he could solve it out there and there.
Yes.
And we tell him, we take problems of the people to him.
Yes.
He will listen. He was a good listener, and he would provide solutions.
Yes.
And that idea of calling him dictatorship is because there were people who could not follow his ways, and they were agitating at us to shun away what Moi is saying. So that is how they ended up calling him the dictator, because he uses the law.
Yeah.
Till this guy he's joking with me, and he has all the machinery.
Yes.
So when somebody is arrested,
yes,
he says he's a dictator, he doesn't listen to me. But you have disobeyed the law.
Yes.
So Moi actually, you could not, could not jail, could not attack anyone who follows the law.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So maybe that's the reason why some people, thought of putting that label on him. And of course, Moi also, during those long 24 years, Kenya itself was going through its own transition. Do you think that the economic struggles were chiefly a result of poor leadership, or it was just a certain season in the Kenyan Republic, or what was your view? Do you think that Kenya was making progress, or it was?
Yes, my view is why the economy did not grow was because of our own selfishness.
Yes.
When somebody is appointed to act in a place to do something,
yes,
he thinks about himself.
Yes.
He downgrades the organization and so forth. It becomes everything.
Yes.
He corrupts from that organization. And that is not Moi. Moi was just driving the nation.
Yes.
So when you go and claim that I want to join a parastatal somewhere, he appoints you, hoping that you are going to put your, to grow that parastatal to be a big one.
Yes.
But people went in and started hitting, messing up in that parastatal.
Yeah.
That's how the people suffered.
Okay.
They messed up in milk industry, milk KCC. They messed up in tea industry, in coffee industry. All those people are the ones who messed up. It's not Moi or anybody else,
Yeah. And I think that's a conversation, and I'm glad you're saying what you're saying, because I think, so people have their own ideas and theories of what went wrong. There were also geopolitical issues that were at play at the same time. But I think I like what you're nailing it down, because if somebody was given a responsibility and appointed by the president of all people to head, say, a parastatal, and then that parastatal dies, I think the blame lies squarely on the person who was actually given that responsibility.
Correct.
Yeah, so it cannot be that the president is the one who messed up.
There is a mistake which we Kenyans we suffer. We like pointing fingers at others,
yes,
without looking at yourself.
Yes.
And that is what messed up. And as the president, he could not defend himself by saying, I'm not the one, I'm not the one, I'm not the one. But you see, rumors travel faster than the truth.
Yes.
So by accusing you, it goes faster than the truth.
Yeah, all you needed was one journalist to actually just say
Yes,
that.
to say.
Or even, actually, by the way, some of the things were even never written as such. I mean, they were just basically good old rumors.
Yes.
You know, that this company is dying because the president takes money on Fridays from this organization.
Yes.
It's a rumor, and that's it. There's no documentation, there's no evidence, nobody went to court.
Yes.
You know, things like that.
The goodness with Moi,
Yes.
Moi could listen to us.
Yes.
And when he listened to us, as his people, he could provide means of us. Every Friday we go home, there is a rampage and so forth. He could give us some money to go home.
Yes.
But that is the difference now. When Kibaki came in, the transition,
Yes.
when Kibaki came in, it became harder.
By the way, actually, that's the other thing I wanted you to speak into, the transition between the two eras, because you served in the two eras. You served in Moi's era and Kibaki's era. What was the market difference? And I like the bit you're talking about. For example, Kibaki didn't want to play that game of, handouts, to his guys to go out there and do fundraising and stuff like that.
Kibaki gave he was hands-free president. He gave his ministers duty, responsibility of whatever they're doing. And, Kibaki had suffered that accident.
Yes.
And we also felt that we don't want to disturb him.
Yes.
Maybe he was going to give out money, but we could not go there because you see that the person is still
recovering.
Yeah, still
Yes.
recovering.
Yes.
So he had given permission. He had given the authority to his ministers.
Yes.
And his ministers did well because whenever you go to the minister, whether they come to parliament, they will answer questions, and everything was going on well. It was that time when we as few members of parliament, like me and Engineer Karue, we sat down and said, let us do what you call Community Development Fund.
Okay.
That was the original name of CDF.
Okay.
Which later became the Constituent Development Fund.
Yeah.
So we wanted actually to develop the groups of people to fund their businesses. But later on, they changed now this money to go to do projects in the constituency.
Yes.
Which still I find it didn't work well because you are taking money to build the classrooms. That money is just like money which is buried.
Yes.
But if you could have used that money to make business, somebody could make business, and then then you take the original, the principal back, and then the money remains with the profit. Then you give it to another person, so that the whole people will grow. They will grow with the money.
Oh, okay. So the original conception of what has now become the Constituency Development Fund,
Yes,
was a community development fund.
Yes.
And the aim was you give specific, groups or individuals,
yes,
so that they, as kind of like base capital,
Yes.
to grow their business.
To grow
It was
their
not meant to go and build classrooms and toilets
Yes.
hospitals and
yes.
stuff like
no,
that.
it was not meant.
It was meant actually to empower economic development.
Correct. That was the original idea of starting CTF.
Okay.
And but you see, these people, because of laziness,
Yes.
I will call also MPs they want things to write on things which are not theirs.
Yes.
They start saying, let us use this money to build classrooms and so forth and so forth.
Yes.
Instead of doing it that way, they have actually encompassed. So having those people grow business and become independent,
Yes.
they have just left it in building classroom white
Elephants.
elephants, classrooms and so forth, which up to today I still find this didn't get to that what we did.
Absolutely. I like that. I like that. So that was actually, so that was part of did this start in the Kibaki era or in the Moi era?
Well, it was there from initially.
Yeah.
You remember when we fought for independence, we said there were three things which were supposed to be.
Three problems we were trying to solve.
Yes.
Yes.
One was ignorance, which you have done through Minister of Education.
Yes.
Diseases, which you have done through Minister of Health.
Yes.
and poverty,
Yes.
which somehow we addressed by helping the people to do business, but in the process it was killed.
Yes.
So it was there from the beginning.
Okay.
But it didn't pick up well.
All right. So the implementation, the actualization of this part of poverty eradication, the model,
Yes.
Never really, we kind of struggled to get it right.
Yes.
Because there was this, some people more looking at let's help the people by giving them cash.
Yes.
Versus let's help people by funding their ideas.
Yes.
And empowering them to actually become independent and create their own business.
Correct.
That entrepreneur mindset is amazing. And by the way, while we are still on that subject, the current conversation of hustler and the strugglers narrative and the promise to give the young people 6,000 shillings is indeed the same thing. Instead of empowering people, just giving them money.
Yes, it is the same thing. The politicians that way of cheating the public.
Okay.
And I would like to advise the voters not to be carried away by those narratives.
Yes.
God knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb.
Yes.
And He gave you power to do things according to His will.
Yes.
Now, when you rely on somebody, a human being and so forth, to change your life, it will never.
Okay.
You will be struggling forever.
All right.
So, I would like to advise from my own capacity. I would like to advise the young people. To work hard in everything they are doing, because inside you there is a talent which God put in you.
Okay.
You don't need to get employed or to do whatever. God has gave you a talent, either in running or in doing business or study. If you study to some level, do something, but study, because studying and reading the Word of God will even make you successful.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, you are following this conversation. I am having a conversation here with Honorable David Sudi. Honorable Sudi served in the Moi era, and then he also served in the Kibaki era. He was an assistant minister in the old era of ministers and assistant ministers. So he brings in a wealth of experience, and that's why I'm trying to listen very carefully to learn a lot from him. Now, Hon Sudi, I want us to talk about your transition moment, which really informed our conversation here. That you had a very traumatic and then transformational moment where you had this massive accident and so many things changed, and somehow a new awakening came up. So maybe tell us a little bit about that, and then because as we end this part of this conversation, we'll come to talk about the implication of that and the way forward.
Yeah, it was the year 2000, about 21 years ago.
Yeah.
I was going home to celebrate what you call Kenyatta Day.
Yes.
Now renamed Mashujaa Day.
Right.
And on my way to Eldoret, about 10 kilometers to Eldoret,
yeah, I
was involved in a road accident in a flat area. Even we don't know why the car rolled.
Yeah.
However, from that, I lost two people. One was my brother and a friend. And I was recovered. I was flown to Aga Khan Hospital ICU. I was in bedridden for 21 days.
Wow.
Completely. And Bishop Margaret Wanjuru came to pray for me.
Wow.
And from there, I found myself in a door whereby there was an angel of God somewhere. There was somebody who was cutting there. I think it was an angel of God. And he told me to go back.
Right.
Go and tell your people God is going to raise 7 generations, of which each person will live for minimum 7 years.
Right.
And from there, and that is how I came back. When I was put into sleep, and I was told to rotate in a circle. You rotate because you do 360 degrees, but at 179, I was thrown out. That formed letter R. Later on, I asked God, what does this letter R mean? He gave me a suggestion which I will expand to you later.
Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely. So that became your turning point. You recovered after 21 days. You came back to life and you recovered fully, and you were able to mobilize again. And that must have changed your political career from then on.
Yes.
That's very, very interesting. So, and then that journey began. What, the main conversation here, we are saying, how can one man change a nation? Did you feel like God was literally giving you a new call, to go, to come to speak to the nation of Kenya and influence it tremendously?
Yes, God has spoken to me in several days. I've been getting dreams, visitations, and so forth.
Yeah.
And it is telling me that it's getting late. Can you hurry up and tell this message?
Okay.
Now, what has happened is, what is happening in Kenya now is biblical. The Bible in Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9 says, there is nothing new which has never happened before that is happening now. Jubilee and Canaan are biblical names.
Yes.
Jubilee meaning cancellation of debts.
Right.
But you can see debts are rising exponentially.
Right.
Now, where the rain started hitting Kenya is when they adopted images of creatures created by God as symbols of political parties.
That's a very serious, observation. Yes, expound on that.
These symbols we are witnessing are idols, my brothers and sisters. We should run away from this. Now God has given us the writings on the wall. If you go to the registrar of political parties, the children of Israel crossed River Jordan after 40 years. God has given us a bridge to cross River Jordan to go to Canaan. And we should not hesitate anymore, because the only political party with a bridge in the registrar of political parties is the New Democrats.
Okay.
Which I'm the party leader, and I'm the official leader, because this is which I have to tell. This party is like no other party. It is God-driven. By the way, and I'm involving the God-fearing people. The Roman Catholic Church, the Protestant Church, the Evangelicals, Islam, and Seventh-day Adventists. This is what God did on the first day of creation. He set the number 12 as a beacon of time. And this is why this parliament is 12, number 12.
Yes.
And that's why I've written this book.
Yes.
Which is based on Ezekiel 22 verse 30. God looked for someone after his own heart in Israel, but he couldn't find. But he has found me in Kenya to come and tell you that this is number 12. And God, and that the 2000 rule was put in the constitution as a wake-up call.
Yes.
Because you remember, Rachel, the second wife of Jacob, stole her father's coats. And when he was giving birth to Benjamin, the 12th son of Jacob, she died.
Okay, so Hon Sudi, I'm going to cut you short because we want to go into a short break. Because when we come back, I want you to expound on that story and the genesis and the vision behind how one man called, who now you've formed a political party, how that is going to change this nation. And I like that idea. We're going to expand to return to that idea. So ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go into a very short break. When we come back, we're going to ask our guest, Hon Sudi, to continue on this conversation. Don't go away. Stay tuned. We come back very shortly.
Next on Encourage a Pastor.
Kenya is in the middle of an amazing move of God.
I believe that these are days like no other in the history of Kenya.
Wow.
Where the church is going to have a voice.
Wow.
Where the fathers on this land are going to have a voice.
The fathers indeed moved in power.
Yes, they did.
But the next generation kind of let down the burden a little bit.
Seek ye first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added. That is the missing link which I believe that we need to really go after.
What should the believers do, what the church should do, so that we don't miss out the time of our visitation?
We have to shift the attention from just the confines of ourselves, what we want God to do for us as individuals, and look up yonder to what God is doing panoramically all over the body of Christ.
Saturday 8.
All right, welcome back. This is the GG Report. We are having a very interesting conversation here. The question we are asking is, can one man change a nation? And my guest here, Honorable David Sudi, served in two parliaments, the 8th and the 9th Parliament. And he has a wealth of experience in politics, and he's giving us his side of the issues. And so before we went to the break, Honorable, you were talking about the vision that is captured in this book, Can One Man Save a Nation? And Ezekiel 22 verse 30. And I would like you to clarify for us how that links up to the New Democrats, the political party that you formed. And let's get a bit of clarity. And remember, there are some people out there who are looking for a political party to join. So
I would like to elaborate that those who want to contest and be members of or elected members of any organization, either county government or women rep or senator or governor, this is your time. Your time has come. Your search has come to an end. Because God has raised, has given us a political party called the New Democrats, whose registration number is number 40. They register political parties, and the symbol is a bridge. And this bridge is going to take us to Canaan. Remember, we as God's body, we keep on complaining, why is this like this? I'm challenging you to come for your ticket so that you can fight as leaders, as elected leaders. So long as you get cleared by your pastor or from your church, so long as you come from your church, you get a clear bill of health that you are straight and you are confident. I mean, you can do something. Please come.
Yeah, by the way, and God-fearing for that matter.
Yes, God-fearing.
All right.
And we are going to, because when all Kenyans cross the Jordan go to Canaan, this is the only bridge and this is the only time. And we are going to have candidates in all 1,450 wards. We are going to have candidates in 290 constituencies. We are going to have candidates in all counties, for 7 counties, as a governor, as a senator, or a women rep. But we are not going to contest the presidency because God has given President Uhuru Kenyatta time to take us across River Jordan, because his term is ending in 2022. But he has added him an extra 1 term, because if you look at the clock the watch you are wearing and done, it reaches 12, it goes to 1. So we need to start. We need to start again. We go to 1 so that we, after crossing the Jordan, go to Canaan. This is where God wants us to raise those 7 generations.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hans Sudi, I can tell you that That is a very contested matter, you know, of course, and I like, you know, your position. You've taken a position that you think that Honorable Uhuru should actually vie for another term. That's amazing. I'm sure some of the people watching here, they will think Hon Sudi is out of his mind. How can a president who has served 2 terms, you know?
Let me tell you, this constitution, God did not participate in this, in passing of this constitution.
Yes.
Because you remember, in the referendum, there was orange and banana.
Yes.
Orange won.
Yes.
And that's where the court people were. But in the process, in between, they came in to pass the constitution. They say, to Pitishe, to Rekabishe.
Right.
While we as body of Christ, we said, to Rekabishe, to Pitishe. Now, this is where God has come now, as pro this party, saying, the last time you say something, and now I'm saying, this should be the way. Are we going to honor God, or we are going to perish?
Okay. And the other thing is, Hon Sudi, you actually have, you were part of the team that petitioned for the dissolution of current 12th Parliament. So, and I think that's a very big story, and I'd like you to speak into it. In fact, as a matter of fact, you have your own copy, which you got from Maraga, I guess, when he prepared, you know, the write-up, you know, the presentation to the president. This is actually what he gave the president. The speech plus all the other documentation around the petitions. Tell us a little bit about that.
On the first day of creation, God set the number 12 as a beacon of time. I went to, after reading the Constitution, the 2/3 gender rule is in the Constitution, and
Yes.
this Parliament, the 12th Parliament, has failed to honor that.
Right.
Now, two wrongs don't make a right, Mr. President.
Mm-hmm.
When you ignore the law which has given you the mandate, when you swore using the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
that Mungu nisaidie. Now God has come back to say, can you dissolve this parliament? Because if we don't dissolve, we'll all perish.
Right.
Remember, the writing is on the wall.
Okay.
In the Bible it says, Rachel, the second wife of Jacob, stole her father's goats.
Okay.
And she died when she was giving birth to the 12th son.
Mm-hmm.
The mother of 12th Parliament is Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why the 2/3 was put in the Constitution as a wake-up call.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I went to Maraga. I said, there's something wrong here. We need to save the nation of Kenya from that collapse.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm challenging you people. We are going for elections, electioneering here. God has given us a political party, which we are no longer going to back. It is for his people who are going to go to Canaan.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have been promised to go to Canaan.
All right.
By former Prime Minister Raila.
Mm-hmm.
And when he reached the Jordan, said there were crocodiles.
All right.
Now God has given us a bridge. He went to build the bridges through building bridges initiative, but
Yes.
it didn't work because he was singing again, saying, no one can stop reggae.
Okay.
Now reggae has been, whatever reggae was, it has been stopped.
Okay. Yeah, so reggae was stopped. So the journey to Canaan was sabotaged. But here is Honorable Sudi, and you're offering a solution.
By the way, the idea of going to Canaan, it was my original idea.
Oh.
It is my idea, and I told Kalonzo.
Yes.
Kalonzo is actually the one who sold it to Raila.
Okay.
And they didn't know that there is a bridge to cross over. And if they could have employed the bridge,
Yes.
they only did their work on top of their work, but that's where we failed. But anyway, coming back,
Mm-hmm.
that letter R, which was generated when I was thrown from above,
Mm-hmm.
when I was returned back.
You had this very amazing dream and,
Yes.
and a vision. All right.
It was not a dream, it was a reality because I came back.
Okay.
And this is where I am. And no one has suffered the way I have suffered.
Okay.
No one who has gone that journey which I've gone. I've seen heaven. Heaven is real. By the way, what is written in the Bible, is the truth.
Absolutely.
Few people come back and say, but I've come back as a politician to come and tell you this is the right way to go.
Okay.
And this is why I want Kenyans to follow. We should stop pointing fingers at leaders because God has put them there as our leaders. Like President Uhuru, that seat where he sits in a seat where God has given him.
Okay.
And has ordained him. So we should not be talking rough things. And I'm sorry to say this because someone has stolen my name, Honorable David Sudi, and he has gone to abuse. That fellow who talks to the president like negatively is not me.
Okay.
I'm the original Sudi, and I don't know who that one is a generic or I don't know.
Yeah. So people should not confuse the politician Sudi, who is known to say a lot of very amazing things regarding the president.
Yes.
With David Sudi, because
Yes.
those are two different people.
They are two different people.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very important to clarify that. Okay, so Honorable Maraga did write to the president, and in fact, it was done publicly. There was a press conference. Actually, the actual write-up, the words, it's all here. The whole speech, and which was clearly, read out in public, signed and delivered to the president, is all here, and. But then the president did not implement the call to dissolve parliament.
Yes, and I would like to urge the president, you still have one more chance to dissolve parliament and come and take Kenyans to Canaan.
Right.
Because God has provided the bridge. If I can show you on this the book I've written, the president is there. You need to walk away from Jubilee because Jubilee is not taking us anywhere now. It has collapsed. Take Kenyans to Canaan, and this is the time. You should separate from your deputy, the way Abraham separated with Lot in Egypt, and take us to Canaan. We are tired of this going around in this wilderness.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, as you follow this conversation, I have here a very seasoned politician. He tells it as it is. Being a politician actually is an amazing call. You have to be fearless, and that's what it is. On Sudi, there are young politicians that are coming up, and I'm sure when you look back, you served in 2 terms. A whole 10 years. Actively, full member of parliament for 10 years. So you have a very good background. And so, what really does it take to be a successful politician? I believe courage is one of them, but there are many other things. What would you advise young upcoming politicians?
The problem these days is for you to win a seat is by if you have made money from some place, either through corrupt means or whatever. You go and dish money, then you are elected.
Okay.
Young people are seeing that when they are elected to be members of parliament, they will be rich. They will start corrupting.
Yeah.
That's not true. In fact, the corruption will kill you faster than following the truth.
Okay.
Because even in the 10 Commandments says to not steal.
Yes.
The commandment goes at one day as to not steal. So if going to parliament will make you rich, there are so many ways of becoming rich. Even people who are billionaires in this world have never been members of any parties or whatever. Look at Chris Kirubi.
Yeah.
He never became any politician, but he was doing his own business and he became successful.
Right.
And many others. I don't want to name names.
Yeah.
Let us stick to doing the right thing.
Right.
I would give you an example of my friend Mangi of Equity. He's a very successful man, and he has steered Equity in a good way, and that is how we need to be. Now, the New Democrats is always new. N stands for unity, N in unity. E is equity to create equality. And W is wisdom to create wealth. So if you use your wisdom, you can be rich and become a billionaire. So this is the way to be, and this is where I urge Kenyans to go. And our president should lead us, because his name starts with letter U, which is from the town of Ur, where Abraham came from. U was Abraham's generation, and R was Lot's generation.
Okay.
So we want Kenyans to go to Canaan, and this is the way Uru should lead us, and that's why God has added him an extra term, and no one should complain. This is from God. He has sent me.
Okay, okay. So Hon Sudi, an amazing politician, he has a message for Kenya, and it's not the kind of message that you want to hear, because he plays on a different playbook. And so Hon Sudi, the New Democrats as a political party, I'm sure there are certain principles. I like what you are describing, the idea of new, and wealth creation and stuff like that. What are the other underlying philosophy or ideals that are part of your party? One of the other things you mentioned off the set is that you want the people who sign up with your party to be Christians. You're going to vet them.
Yes. Well, because this is a party of all people who are court oriented. We don't want corruption to come in. God said, the Bible says, let us be doers of this word, of what he said. Now, what we want to do is, we are going to give them a cow.
Okay.
We put people in groups of 10.
Okay.
And we registered in every political polling station. We give them a cow to share as a family. They share the milk from this cow.
Okay.
Because going to Canaan, land of milk and honey.
Yes.
The produce from the milk from this cow you can sell, make money, and educate yourself, and so forth. Yeah. And so forth, and you can have up to 10 cows.
Okay.
Each one owning a cow.
Okay.
And I think this is the amazing way of helping the people run away from poverty.
By the way, actually, and that is something that I would like you to expound a little bit, because I saw in your write-ups you have this kind of a business model that is very, very elaborate. So yeah, so I think you need to explain that to a lot of Kenyans. So there is a way you can create wealth through dairy farming, actually.
Yeah, this is a project which is successful in Saudi Arabia. And I have business partners who want to bring investment to Kenya. And I thought that rather than signing an agreement with them for my own benefit, let me share with people of my party. And this is an opportune time for each of you to join the New Democrats, because this is the way where you'll from this milk, no Kenyan will ever die of hunger anymore, because you will be given shares to own in this company, and so forth. So we are telling Kenyans, just like Moses told the Egyptians, told the Israeli in Egypt, go and ask for silver and gold from the Egyptians, because you will never see them anymore. I'm telling you today, let those people give you money and everything, but you fought for the new Democrats. You will vote for the Raja so that you don't sunguka in this wilderness anymore.
Amazing, amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are following this conversation. It's amazing. Hon Sudi has a great experience in politics, and you know, he believes that there are a lot of people that are going around the mountains in the wilderness, and they need to find their way to Canaan. And also the economic empowerment, which you are saying, look, there is an opportunity for people to be economically empowered, and you're channeling that through the New Democrat Party, which is a brilliant idea.
We have our own company called T&D Flag Cow Limited.
Right.
This T&D will be doing that work of giving the people in groups of 10 cows.
Yeah.
And there is also, under the same umbrella, we are giving out cylinders, car cylinders, and banners to every household.
Okay.
So long as you are going to pay 500 shillings you are using it will there is a gadget which releases the cars.
Yeah.
You pay only 500 shillings. As long as you are going to spend 500 shillings in a month,
Yeah.
then we'll give you free of that.
Okay.
So we want to give to our people so that we don't want to cut our trees and burn charcoal and everything, so that we have clean energy.
Absolutely, absolutely. I like that. I like that. So actually, that's a very interesting business model. And you know, the whole idea of mixing political politics and economic empowerment in one setting. That's an amazing. I haven't had any political party that seems to have that kind of a model.
Because if you come to where my office is, here in Kipra.
Yes.
This is a model which we have given out. We have given castle to all slums. We have started from slums, but it will spread throughout the entire nation.
Absolutely.
As we add the capacity on.
Okay.
So you can come and witness. You can bring this camera and they see it, so that you can project it to Kenyans to see.
Okay. So before we we come to wrapping up on this conversation, I want us to revisit politics, and I would like to indulge you to comment on the presidential election bit of it. Right now, we are not very sure. We know there are two leading candidates. One, Raila Amolo Odinga, and then we also have William Ruto and his UDP party, UDA, and then there is also the other coalition called OCA, and those kind of things. So from where you sit, what do you see happening, come 2022?
There will be no election in 2022 because court has already added President Uhuru Kenyatta 5 years to take us to Canaan.
Okay.
Because of his name, the town where God called Abraham from is called Ur.
Yes.
UR.
Yes.
UR is, in Kenya, it was Uru Ruto. Okay. Now they have come in, when they reach Egypt, Sarai, the wife of Abraham, was so beautiful that he had to they denied, they said, this is my sister.
Right.
And that is the land of Pharaoh. Mm-hmm. And in that land, the Pharaoh saw that this lady was so beautiful, and they had to give the dowry to Abraham. Okay. But in the process, they started now. Abraham and Lot quarreled. Okay. Now, if you analyze clearly, U was for Abraham, and R was for Lot. Now, again, you find that U for Uru and R for Raila is returning us back to the town where God removed us from. Okay. Now, that is going against God's call to Abraham. Okay. Now, there has to be a separation. Abraham told Lot, are we not brothers? This land you have given us, God has given us, you look on that side, and I got the opposite side.
Okay.
So even now, Uru and Ruto should separate. Even we have seen cracks already.
Yes.
And they should now, Uru should just come. Now that God has shown him this the way.
Right.
Just leave it come and take us to Canaan, please. If you can listen, if you can hear me, God has spoken and he has spoken to me. You know where that accident which I got, I had the opportunity. God returned me back, and no one has gone that way. Please listen to me, to my voice, because this is the voice of God, and take Kenyans to Canaan.
The voice of Honorable Sudi is the voice of God. I mean, politics in this country draw a lot of attention. A lot of young people right now are positioning themselves. For senator, I interviewed in another forum a young man who wants to be a senator. There are young people who wants to be governors. You know, there is an awakening. What do you think is really powering all this awakening? Why is politics so attractive right now? You know, I mean, other than people maybe wanting to seek financial gain, what else is drawing people to politics?
Yeah, because you see, it's like a call of God calling people.
Okay.
And the problem is when you go to parliament using those parties, those parties whose symbols are like that. When you go to parliament, you will be swallowed. Even Christians will be swallowed.
Okay.
Because there are few. Because of those idols which are there.
Okay.
So we need a clean plate altogether. We start afresh, but we maintain the president, because that letter U is the one which is taking us to Canaan. Because that is the Abraham generation, and that's the generation which is Canaan.
Thank you very much for coming on this show. We're coming to the end. Do you have I believe you have a short message for people who wants to go to parliament and represent this nation? In 30 seconds, what's your short message?
I'm calling all aspirants to come call me or send a text to my number 0722 761 575. I'm on either on WhatsApp or a text message, and come and visit us. The office is in Sanma Park, Kipra Woodley, Joseph Kangeta Road, Woodley, opposite Winners Chapel. If you come there, you'll find me, and that is where our office is, and that's where my office is, and I'll be there to receive you. So let us change this nation. It all starts with you.
Okay.
Let us change this nation, because God has given me. I cannot do it alone. We will do it all together. We can come up. God has given me a way. I'm just like Noah, who built the ark for people to go in. Now the ark is ready.
Absolutely.
So you come.
The ark is ready. The ark is ready. New Democratic.
New Democrats.
New Democrats, and you've been given the direction. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to bring this to a close. We've had a very interesting conversation. My guest, Honorable David Sudi, served in the 8th and 9th Parliament, in the National Parliament in Kenya. And he has amazing ideas and insight and stories. And he's the leader of the New Democrats Party. And if you are interested, you can get in touch with him. And therefore, perhaps then take the vision forward. Thank you so much for staying tuned on this particular episode of the Gigi Report. My name is Godfrey Geshoke. I've been your host. God bless you so much. We'll see you another day, same time, same place, same channel. God bless you. Have a good evening. Bye for now.